I'd say actually we have had quite a significant change, and it's possibly because, relating to what I mentioned earlier, people are having to face the realities of Brexit more directly. So, as you know, 56% voted to remain, and all the polling suggests that if there was a referendum held tomorrow on the same question, the results would be in the high 60s for remain. And most particularly, an issue of relevance here is, of course, the question of whether, if we had a referendum for Irish unity, there'd be a majority in favour of that. We don't see the figures to indicate that yet, but what we do see is people saying if there's a hard Brexit or a hard border, then they would be much more likely to vote for that. And that shows some of the possible consequences for the UK as a whole, actually.
Yeah, because Catherine Nicholson, you interviewed the leader of the SNP recently. And so, Katy, I ask you, could we witness a breakup of the United Kingdom?
In terms of whether you'd see a referendum in favour of Irish unity in Northern Ireland, I think a lot depends on what happens with Brexit. There are people, unsurprisingly, Irish Republicans who would be calling for a border poll, and especially if you have a no-deal Brexit. The likelihood of seeing a majority is not there on the horizon, but actually I think we've seen so much flux at the moment across the UK and so much polarisation that there may well be dynamics outside of Belfast, outside of Northern Ireland, that would affect what the meaning of the UK itself, actually. And even, I think, part of the dynamics that have been interesting in Brexit is the rise of English nationalism, such as it is, and the lack of regard that some English nationalists would have towards the rest of the UK, not just Northern Ireland, but also Scotland. There's people who call themselves unionists, but actually are showing little concern in reality for the various constituent parts of the UK.